Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jun. So today we're going to talk about really important things, so-called senses. In the previous episode, we have been talking about how the mind-body going to connect and how this trauma, emotional conflict, transgenerational, deblockage, all those things has been stored in the DNA. And then all the great experts was in the episode to help us guide how we can heal those type of wounds or the trauma. But we have to do always the introspection, really the how we are sensing, how we feeling within yourself, but how we receiving this sensory information from outside. So this is where we comes through many multi different dimensions to creating ourselves. So today we have an expert and really brilliant, amazing healer, Jamie. And Jamie, how do you pronounce last name? Because your last name is amazing.
Jamie Cabaccang.
Cabaccang.
Yes.
Jamie Cabaccang. So she has been a Reiki Master and a soul care practitioner of Pure Reiki Wellness, and the founder of a Techie and Wellness, which is really great. The marriage between tech industry, where she's in that professional, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then she had the personal transformational story that she really intrigued by this going to the self-healing. That's why she became the Reiki Master and practitioner as a wellness. So techie and wellness. So she's really making a great noise around the industry. So any techies, people really have some challenges, here's a place to come, techies and wellness. And also Jamie has been helping clients individually and creating immersive sensory wellness experiences and transformative retreats around the Puget Sound. Correct?
That is correct, yes.
Yes, I've been seeing your retreats. It's amazing. It's just so many beautiful experiences that people come out of it using the sensory, right?
Exactly.
Experience. So tell us about this, how you're going to guide people, or maybe through the client and patient, not the patient, but client's experience, how they're perceiving it. How do you see their journey from from this trauma or conflict and block that they have, and then through the sensory experience that you being helping, they have been transforming.
Yeah, a lot of times people will come to see me for a particular conflict that they are experiencing, and usually it's something greater. We realize as I work through, I work with people on a one-on-one, and because of this experience, this sensory experience. So Reiki is something that is very natural that we actually do today.
Like ourselves.
With ourselves, yeah. So for example, when you were a child, if you had a stomach ache or you skinned your knee, what do? You usually put your hand on your stomach, or maybe your mom or your parents like put their hand on your knee. There's something around like touch, touching of the skin, this warm feeling that you have that can bring healing. It's just this natural way that we already know within ourselves.
Intuitively, yeah.
It's very intuitive for us we just automatically know to just put our hands where there's pain, and through that you feel some sort of a healing through that. And so with Reiki is a way of working through the different energy centers, and as I work through the different energy centers, I can connect with the different feelings of the body. So
What kind of sensation is it? You feel it, or the clients feel it, or both?
Yeah, it's both. It depends on. It's different. So it's very different for every client. Every client that comes in, they have a very different experience. And when the same client comes in, every time that they come in, it's always a different experience for that same client. Sometimes they feel the actual energy themselves, like physically.
It's like a warm sensation. How do they describe? Is a warm sensation, or like some tingly, or what type of sensation they
Yeah,
experience?
many times I hear the different temperature changes.
Temperature changes. Yes.
I hear that people see different colors. Muscles start twitching. You get like maybe even a heaviness in the chest sometimes, or stomach starts grumbling, the tingling. So it, so many different things that a lot of people will feel, and sometimes even things will come to them, like memories. Maybe sometimes people who've passed away will come into their memory, into their thoughts. And then on my end, I've been doing Reiki for over 5 years now, and I want to say my senses have been opening up and unfolding and becoming even more sensitive.
Or able to receive.
Yeah.
You know what the change is happening.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say I'm all of the clairs, but I'm really highly claircognizant, which is
yes.
the knowing.
Knowing. Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
Sudden knowing comes through, intuitive knowing, or download, whatever they're called.
Yeah, it is a download of information that will come to me as I am working with the energy of my client.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think previously we talked about this all different sensation in a way that you're kind of summarizing. So this is where the client's internal experience of this all different sensation. Right?
Yeah.
So then you are perceiving your external sensation as giving the or facilitating the Reiki.
Yeah.
Right? But then you got this sudden knowing or download comes through it.
Yeah. And also feeling too. So I am already just very empathetic. And I think many of us are very empathetic. I think most of my clients who do come in are very energetically sensitive. So we kind of can already sense like how people are feeling as you walk into a room. No one needs to talk, and you can kind of sense like the feeling of the room, whether somebody's upset or it's just a very happy, positive like feeling that you get. And so as I'm working on clients, I can sometimes even connect with their feelings, whether it be feeling of the heart, whether it be anger, like different types of emotions that we may have. And so as I was saying earlier, like sometimes people will, I would say most times people will come in and they come in for a specific conflict that they're trying to work through and heal. And many times we realize like it's not really about the current conflict that they're facing in that moment. It's usually connected to traumas of the past. And usually to childhood. Yeah, the things that we have not healed yet. So when we're reacting today, usually it's not really a reaction of the current moment. It's usually of what we're perceiving from the past and how our perception was of the past. So
I love it because the previous episode we talked about the connection. So it is all the trauma, conflict, everything that we're perceiving through our lifetime, in this lifetime. But at the same time, we have this DNA being carried on transgenerationally, from the parents.
Right.
That's story, right?
I see it all the time.
So sometimes I don't remember having this experience, but then that something triggers it coming from the past life or the previous lifetime or from the ancestry, correct?
Ancestors too.
So all of a sudden the sudden awakening or sudden the realization comes through it.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing.
And so with a lot of the work that I do, it really is around self-awareness and really bringing to awareness what are the things that need to be healed, need to be, focus areas. And a lot of times we numb ourselves. So as we go through life,
disconnect.
Totally disconnect. You disconnect. You're just kind of numb from the world, numb from your emotions. I have a lot of people who will come in and they just don't know when they're angry. Maybe they've been on different medications to suppress their their feelings, their
Yes.
emotions, or we even kind of just, it's like self-inflicted. We just, as you said, disconnect is actually a really great word. Just disconnect
Yes.
from our senses, from our emotions, from feeling. And when we do that, are we living an authentic life? It's like when we don't know what's really going on and we're not really connecting with our emotions, which I always say is information for us. We need to hear those. It's like an internal GPS. But if we don't listen to that,
GPS.
If we don't listen to what's going on within, then we're kind of moving through life almost just not really listening to what's going on. We're kind of moving through life blindly, not really honoring ourselves, what's true for us, how we're feeling, and that could create a huge disconnect from why you're even here in the first place. So
I like to, often people say, "How are you doing?" Yeah, I'm okay. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm fine or I'm fabulous.
Yeah.
That's the emotional living, right? The energy.
Right.
Often people say, "Fine." Okay, it's just like be numbing themselves,
right?
So they can go on through their life, but they're not having their life experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a lot of that could be contributed from the past of like not wanting to disappoint, not wanting to create conflict. Like, it's just a lot of times like how we're raised and the beliefs that we create for ourselves of like how we should be and show up in this world. And so, there's just so much I could say around that. But
yes. So, going back to the sensory, the previous episode, we talked about this great expert, the essential oil expert, Jim Harrison.
Yeah.
He shared with us how this olfactory system, the smell, that this nature, this abundance of nature, they all have different smell, the frequency that strike into your nervous system. Then that triggers some emotion to be healed, or sometimes provoke, invigorate emotion. But because you gotta, if it becomes dormant, you gotta make them up, right? To be aware. I'm so angry. Okay, I'm angry. Don't ignore that. Identify them.
Yes.
Then let's work on it to heal.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's so important to bring that awareness, and that's a lot of the work that we do with sound healing, with the guided meditation.
Yes. So could you tell us about sound healing as a sensory, as a sound, right?
Yes.
Hearing his frequency, that's a big part of the healing.
Yeah.
That's where the music and dance, those things are so therapeutic.
It is, and sound and music, it is a language. It's a common language between all. It's a universal language. So there's something that's very special when it comes to the sound healing and music. It's just something that we can all connect with, and we feel it. And so, with the sound healing and the vibrations and the frequencies, especially, I use crystal alchemy bowls, and I also use a shamanic drum. But these give off very, very highly vibrational frequencies that you just can feel it in your heart. You can feel it, and it may invoke many emotions as well. A lot of the different crystal alchemy bowls that I have, they're all different harmonics, but when played together, and it's been a journey for me too. I've always been into music. I've always been into singing, and since I was a child, and this is really bringing me back to what I have always loved doing, and so now that I'm doing this, and I can do it with a purpose of like helping the community, helping individuals with these immersive sensory experiences. And then we call them immersive sensory experiences because you come in and it is, you are bathed in the sounds, the sound vibration, which is, it just brings so much healing and so much relaxation. It's especially really good for people who are in the mind all the time, because you can get into a state of really, really deep, relaxed state that really flips the switch of that own self-healing that we all have, that natural ability to heal ourselves. Because when we're always on the go, especially with techies, and we're very inclusive, so anybody is welcome to these events. But we're always on the go, we're always doing things, and when we're always on the go and doing things, and our mind and body and spirit is highly stimulated, our mind, body, spirit's trying to keep up with it all the time. And so when we can finally drop into a state of relaxation and not be so overly stimulated by everything that's happening around us, that can really invite that self-healing.
Yeah. So this is where, shutting off those noises, shifting the external environment.
Yeah.
This we talk about epigenetic, right? That we're getting all those different sensations, right? There's
Right.
noises. It's hard to listen to the noise, the voice that we have within yourself. When you shift the environment, setting the stage, right? Create the space. Now allowing our internal healing to take place, through the sounds.
Yeah. It is to finally listen to what is going on. It's a space for you to create a relationship with your own self and with that life force energy that is moving within all of us, but really listening to that inner voice that we tend to push away and really not create the space to really hear that. So yeah.
So those natural environment that immersive retreat, you're setting up the stage, frequency come through it, right? Then that triggers, because this is a personal experience. Each person, in the same frequency, they hit the different level, different experience, different healing journey they're going to create, right?
Absolutely.
So very personal.
It is, yeah. It is. It's like a group community experience. Like there are many people that will come, but really you are in your own space. We put on eye mask, so it's a full-on sensory experience. We put on the eye mask to take you to other places outside of the physical, and to really drop into an inward space. And it really is connecting you with your own inner wisdom and your own inner guidance, your own inner GPS. That really helps pave the way in a thoughtful, intentional way for your life.
Yeah, I think you really create a quantum field, really, it's a unified field. The way that because become no time, no place, nobody, none this, nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That become the one.
Yeah.
Become the wisdom blend of the universe, right? Exactly. So this is where self-healing is to happen. This is where you're creating.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you just feel like you're not really. It's even through Reiki. It's like you don't really feel like you're awake, but you're not really asleep. You're just kind of in that
zone.
Wow. That deep zone that invites the healing.
So if you give us the 3 tips, because everybody, okay, that sounds awesome. I want to create that, but there's but going to the retreat, doing things might take some time. It's gonna happen tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can they do? Giving us like a few tips, say, create this way, the ABC at home from today. They can start creating those type of inner healing. What would you say? Through the sensations.
Okay.
Because you use the sound bowl or sound alchemy, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can they do to create a similar or experience at home?
Yeah. So one of the first things I would say is to find and create space that is just for you, and doing something that really brings joy to you. I think that whether it be doing art, whether it's playing music and dancing, whether it's writing poetry, really creating the space for you. That's what we do with the sound bath. It's an opportunity to be able to come for yourself, no one else, but really showing up for you. We do a lot of showing up for everyone else, and so really creating the time and the space for you to show up for yourself. Let's see. Second one. Okay, so the second thing that I would say is, as I said earlier, we all have this ability to heal ourselves. And you don't need to be a Reiki master We all naturally, just through touch, through our hands are warm. We've got energy here, and really, just rub your hands, and really just placing your hands on your body, and just that can be self-healing. You can work through the different energy centers, like your crown, your throat. Yep, the third eye.
Some people have watched a previous episode. Here's the crown, okay? Here's the throat.
Yeah.
Okay.
The heart, the solar,
okay.
the sacral, and the root chakras. And even just like self massage. So just
touch.
like
self-touch.
Just touch.
So important, is it?
Yeah, it's connection. It's finding that self connection. We try so hard to connect with the outside world, and we move through life from the outside in. But this really is about moving through life from the inside out. So really finding that self connection, and Reiki is one good way. And you can remove the word Reiki. It really is just like connecting with myself, self healing. And so that's the second one. Okay, let me think about there.
So summarizing is that creating your own space. This is your sacred space. Your home, it could be any places, right? Nobody bothers you, right? Mm-hmm. Then just a journal, anything, right? You're meditating, your mindfulness, anything. Type of really going within.
Yes. Yeah.
Then create this touch. Rubbing your hands, putting the places in the center to really connect it inwards.
Right. Okay. And I think the third one I would say is environment. So your environment is very, very important. What I do in my home, and I just completely had to remodel my house. Not out of choice, but
we have a simple situation sometimes in life.
Sometimes life happens. Yes. But it was such a blessing, and I see the gift. I have so much gratitude for that experience. But now it gives me an opportunity to create the space that I love, to come home to an environment that welcomes healing and relaxation. And so I would say what I do at home is I have candles. I just set up my space with things that I really truly love. It's a very intentional space. I use essential oils, so I will have my essential oil diffuser, and so I use that just to bring in the smell, the senses of like calmness. Every time I go to a spa, like it just it feels like a spa.
Your home is a spa. Your sacred space.
And that just I've got a lot of memories there, and it just makes me feel very calm and peaceful and less stress. And then the mood lighting, as well as playing music. I'm always playing different types of genres depending on my moods, but I will just play really nice, calm, peaceful music. So creating your own sensory experience at home is I would say really important when it comes to self-care, self-connection, self-compassion, and really just creating this life that you love coming home to,
the place of that created this little melt, diffuse,
exactly, and it really is bringing you home to yourself and home to the place that you live.
That's awesome suggestion.
Wow. Thank you.
So everybody, please remember that 3 tips that she just talked about, using all different sensory systems, sensory sensations. So please come to quantumdecoders.com/can, Conscious Awakening Network, and Jamie's information's there, and then her retreat, she has events, and some of the tips that she's available. So we're going to create some information links over there. Okay?
Awesome.
And thanks so much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's an honor.
Thank you. Expand your awareness. See you next time.
Bye. Thank you. See you.
Thank you.